I wanted your attention, pal. Not only did I get your attention, you sure as hell got my attention. Offered you a little challenge last week. I tried to push your buttons. You retaliated, and you retaliated in a way that would make Drew Galloway proud. You gave me some extreme head trauma, and to be honest, the doctors don't want me to compete for the title. If anybody knows old Drew, you know, he flipped one off. I don't know if we use blurring here, but you can blur this. That's what I did to the old doctor, and I said, I'm fighting for the title. I came to What Culture to make an impact, and I found a company that deserves to be on the map on the biggest stage. I take pride on taking companies to the top, and this is somewhere that I want to be champion in, mate. I'm going to take that title. I am here, I am cleared, I am competing, and when I do take that title, what are you going to be left with? You're going to have no friends, you're going to have no respect, and you're going to have no title.
WCPW's internet pay-per-view, Refuse to Lose, where world champion Joseph Connors is scheduled to defend against Martin Kirby. But Connors may not even get as far as next Thursday, because first, tonight on Loaded, he must defend against Drew Galloway. But from one title to another, we are kicking off this week with a WCPW Women's Championship match.
And from Norfolk, England, the challenger, Alex Windsor.
Dave Bradshaw here alongside former British heavyweight champion Alex Shane. And Alex Windsor has made just a remarkable impact after just one match. She has a chance to win the WCPW Women's title in just her second appearance.
Well, this is a woman that's been impressing me so far, Dave Bradshaw, but she's got to be feeling the pressure, because as you just said, we are days away from Refuse to Lose, and this young lady wants to walk into that internet pay-per-view with the WCPW Women's Championship. But to do that, she's got to beat Nixon, Newell, and the woman we're about to meet.
WCPW has quickly been building a reputation for attracting the greatest stars from around the wrestling world. Tonight is no exception. We're about to meet a woman who has competed in WWE, in TNA, and around the wrestling world. Tonight she could be the WCPW Women's Champion, Katarina Leigh.
This is a woman, Dave, that blazed the trail as the first British professional female wrestler to get signed to a major company in America, and she's right here in WCPW.
And the second challenger, currently residing in Louisville, Kentucky. She is a former TNA Knockouts champion and a three-time British Women's champion. She is Katarina Leigh.
So an enormous challenge facing Alex Windsor in just her second match here, to face a competitor with such an international pedigree as Leigh has. But the same could be said in terms of it being a challenge for our champion. Nixon Newell must be backstage waiting to come out here with that title belt and thinking, how on earth am I going to beat a woman so much more experienced than I am?
Yeah, but I hate to be the one that addresses the elephant in the room, but even though she was Windsor in TNA and Katie Lee Birchall in the WWE, before that, and long before that, 15 years ago, she was Nikita on the UK scene, and right then she was jumping off balconies doing incredible wrestling. But has the British wrestling scene passed her by? We're about to find out, Dave.
Two challengers in the ring. We await the arrival of the WCPW Women's Champion, who up until now, at least in singles competitions, has only really had to deal with Bea Priestley, but this ever-expanding women's division is causing an ever-expanding challenge for Nixon Newell.
And making our way to the ring, she is the WCPW Women's Champion, the Vixen of the Valleys, Nixon Newell.
Well, every week on this show I speak about the ever-increasing growth of WCPW, but it's not just the talent roster and the wrestlers we've seen from across the globe, it's the number of eyes on the What Culture Pro Wrestling product. And that product is given a stage and a platform to women's wrestling in Great Britain. And Nixon Newell, like you said, only had to contend with Bea Priestley, but the matches that those two women had, particularly that last woman standing match, fired a flare that has been seen by women all around the world, and that is why Nixon Newell finds herself in this situation with two challengers right now unloaded.
Speaking of Priestley, I'd imagine she's more than a little bit miffed to have been left out of this title match, particularly given that Alex Windsor, who she brought to WCPW, has been included.
Well, that's why you should always put your own life jacket on first before helping out other people, Dave. It's a valuable philosophical lesson that Bea Priestley may have learned at the expense of her title chances.
It's your approach to life, isn't it?
That's what they tell you on the planes.
Number one comes first. Alex Shane Guide to Modern Life. Anyway, Alex Windsor trying to get a grip on that belt. She'll have a far more permanent grip on it if she can somehow overcome Leigh and Newell in this triple threat match. It goes without saying, but I'll say it anyway, when it's a triple threat match, the champion doesn't have to be pinned to lose the title.
Yeah, and you spoke about that experience of Katarina Leigh earlier. Look at her, just stood there watching, and that's a smart move.
That's the thing in a triple threat match, there's always an odd person out, but well, sometimes there is at least, because there's a three-person pinning situation. The attempts at a cover coming thick and fast in the early going.
Wow, look at those forearms there by Leigh. And yet this woman's wrestled all over the world, America, Europe, Japan. But what we saw from Alex Windsor before, she is vicious, and she is, whoa, airpole.
She's cocky as well. Takes a bit of gall to do that to Katarina Leigh. Goes for the clothesline, does Windsor. Insecurity from Leigh, and Windsor is taken down.
And Nixon Newell, Dave, just coming in, and yeah, she's got her eye on this match at all times, and she needs to, because there are two women in there, one that wants to make her career and the other one that wants to redefine it on a global stage.
Meanwhile, Newell's going to go to the ropes, boot to the side of the head.
Oh, picture perfect neck breaker there.
Newell needs to be careful. Windsor is behind her. She hasn't seen her. Now she does. Goes for the clothesline. Newell goes behind. Windsor going to try and back her into the corner. And in the end, Windsor is pushed into Leigh. Picked up again by Newell. Who will go for the fall-away slam into the pin. Gets two, and Katarina Leigh will break it up.
And don't forget that sweet Saraya, the mother of Paige, has been mentoring Alex Windsor. And that viciousness that you see from Windsor comes directly from the Knight family dynasty.
Big clothesline from Windsor. Now, we talked about Bea Priestley, who's going to be watching this one with interest. What about Little Miss Roxy? She was in that women's tag team match that we saw recently that featured Newell and Windsor. But Roxy tapped out to Windsor in her debut, and such is the competitive nature of this division now. You've got to think that puts Roxy right to the back of the line.
And you can see from these forearms exactly the animosity that is quickly built between these two women, head to head in the centre of the ring, Dave. We knew it was going to break down to these two eventually, and it's happened fast.
Newell with another forearm. Those forearms are just brutal from both women. Windsor slapping headbutting.
Double headbutt. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Oh my God! Well, I said earlier, Dave, Katarina Leigh, is she going to be a step behind as British wrestling left her behind, but a top rope drop kick? I mean, she's pulling out all the stops here for this women's championship.
Yeah, you've always got to have those eyes on the swivel in a triple threat match. You never know where that third person is while you're dealing with one of them. The referee has a count on all three competitors. All three exhausted. The pace here has been frenetic from the opening bell. Leigh is up now, both Newell and Windsor are up as well. Newell going to go with those charging forearms in the corner. She's just a steam train, or at least she was till Leigh took her off the rails.
Big boot by Leigh, and then a kick into the kidneys by Alex Windsor, and almost like a variation of a shining wish. She's down for the count, and Nixon, oh my God.
I think, yeah, Windsor maybe needed to get Newell out of the ring before attempting that pin. Bit of inexperience showing there. Leigh, again, giving the champion no time to rest. Send Newell into the corner. Katarina Leigh sensing victory. I'm not sure she's sensing anything after that. Kick to the back of the head. Newell will go to the top. And Newell with a crossbody goes for the cover.
Oh, look at this. Windsor, belly to back into a sit-down powerbomb. My God.
New champion, maybe new champion. No, 2 3/4. And Nixon Newell keeps that belt for now.
And look at the shock and awe on the face of Windsor. She planted Nixon Newell with that sit-down powerbomb with every fibre of her being, but it wasn't enough to put away the WCPW Women's Champion.
Slap around the face again from Windsor to Newell. Leigh trying to creep up on them for what wouldn't be the first time in the match if she got to that top turnbuckle. Look at the bridge from Newell. Leigh is nowhere.
Oh, she got it.
She gets it. Nixon Newell chalks up a victory in the opening match of Loaded and heads to Refuse to Lose as Women's Champion.
And your winner, and still WCPW Women's Champion, Nixon Newell.
Newell, week by week, is proving her worth, proving that she deserves to hold the WCPW Women's title. And for all the arrogance, for all the confidence, possible overconfidence that Alex Windsor had after a victory in her first match in WCPW, that may at least temporarily have put her back in her place.
Yeah, and you got to give credit again to Nixon Newell, because she was in there with a hungry new competitor and a wily veteran, and she still walks out with that belt, Dave. That was an impressive triple threat victory.
And of course, it's not the only championship match that we're going to see tonight on Loaded. Our WCPW World Champion, Joseph Connors, must get past Drew Galloway if he will make it to Refuse to Lose. With that title around his waist, that's coming up, plus 6-man tag team action as well. A jam-packed night here on Loaded, Alex.
And that main event, Dave, Drew Galloway is a man who has set a new standard for somebody who leaves the WWE and goes onto the independent scene. And he said at the start of this show that he wants to win this belt in the worst way. Joseph Connors may just lose that title mere weeks after he won it.
The hostility between Connors and Galloway has reached fever pitch in a very short period of time. They'll settle their differences in the main event of this week's Loaded.
Hello, mate. Please, take your seat. Hey.
You need to
Turn that phone off right now. I need you to hang up. I need you to take your seat.
I need to do some work. You need to get out of my office. But cheers.
I need to get out of your
You need
office.
to get out of my office now.
Are you gonna tell me what to do? You gonna tell me? No, mate. You're gonna take your seat. Is what you're gonna do. You're gonna put that phone in your pocket. Come. I need to have a word with you. Now, it's been a week, and I've beaten El Ligero, but I refuse to lose. It's El Ligero versus El Patron for the internet title. That doesn't sound right, does it? Hey, look here. Does that sound right to you, huh? Last week, I beat El Ligero, and he's having a title match? Huh? Look at me! So I'll tell you what you're gonna do, okay? This is what you're gonna do. You rolled over for Kirby, you're gonna do the same for me. Put me in the match.
Fine.
Nah.
Fine.
Yes?
Fine.
Yes?
Fine.
Awesome, man.
Fine.
Awesome.
Just leave.
Awesome.
Seriously, just leave.
Awesome. Good work, man. Awesome. You did the right thing, actually. See ya.
Do you want to see WCPW live but are allergic to the awful people of Newcastle? WCPW is coming to Greater Manchester on Saturday the 8th of October to the Altrincham Silver Blades Arena. Your ticket won't just get you a stat card featuring Cody Rhodes versus Kurt Angle, but will also grant you access to our first ever fan convention during the day. Meet the What Culture guys, have photos with your favourite WCPW wrestlers, a host of other surprises, and VIP members will get to meet Kurt Angle and Cody Rhodes in person. Tickets can be bought at wc.pw.